Let me take you on an improvisational journey through the bowels of the culinary industry. Now, expect to have your skin burned and your flesh cut. Expect to be dog tired from standing on your feet for 12 hours. Expect to be chewed out and snapped at by your bosses and then expect to get paid kind of pretty okay for a 22-year-old. It's not that bad though. I mean, because if you're an artist, if you're someone who's a sensualist who loves to feed people and be around people and put delicious plates of food in front of them, it can be rewarding. And I mean, I am all those things too. I love feeding people, but realistically, I don't know how long I can keep doing it. I think I kind of lost my fire.
What's up? How's it going? Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast. This is episode 4. Thank you for all the kind words about episode 3. I think people enjoyed it, but me and Jesse did get a little technical in terms of the kitchen knowledge and how we talked about kitchens and stuff. But as I said in that episode intro, I tend to get into the nitty gritty. I like that kind of stuff. I find it hard not to get into that. So there might be episodes like that, and I enjoy that there are episodes that are technical like that. And then there are going to be episodes like this today where it's just, two friends shit talking and having a good time. What's really interesting is the reaction to them is great. People seem to have a really strong reaction, which I like. I don't want people to just be like, that was okay. It was okay. So I like hearing those very different, very strong reactions. Yeah, this one today is me and my buddy Paulie. I'm just going to call him Paulie. No last name. He's like Madonna. He needs no last name. If you know Paulie, then you know Paulie, I met Paulie when I was working at a Japanese yakitori spot, and he just was that guy. I saw the way he was, cutting things and working, and you're like, that's the guy to look up to, and he's going to show you the way, Turns out Paulie wasn't a cook until he was like fucking 31. I don't know. This is probably the best example of the way we talk in kitchens. There's a lot of shit talking, a lot of like going off on tangents and being ridiculous and saying shocking, sarcastic things to make each other laugh. So we didn't really get much work done in terms of tracing his history, but man, it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy talking to Paulie a lot. So we're going to have to do a part 3. That's right. I said part 3. I recorded a part 2 when I found out that actually he had quit the job that we talk about in this episode. But sadly that recording, the mic setup was really bad. So I probably won't release that publicly. I'll probably put that on the Patreon. So anybody who's willing to tolerate the poor quality can listen to it. But me and Paulie are definitely going to sit down again soon and keep tracing his history, because he's got some wild shit going on. But we talk about a ton of different things. We're talking about we always get into capitalism. That's one of his favorite topics. We talk about pop-ups and stuff, about the possibility of pop-ups. This is before I knew about Bad Larry. So I kind of got my wish when I'm talking about pop-ups in this episode. I said, looking for something different, something exciting, and kind of got my wish with Bad Larry's. If you're in Austin or you're interested in just like unique pop-ups, check out Bad Larry's Burger Club, man. He's doing some crazy shit. Great, crazy shit. And just simple, just smash burgers done right. Hopefully I can get him on a podcast one day. That'd be great. This is a really fun episode, but I want people to know 2 things. One, this was recorded at the height of allergy season, so there's a lot of sniffling and coughing and stuff. I'll try to get rid of as much of that as possible, but that is in there. Me and him are very allergy-prone dudes, and we're just sniffing and coughing the whole time. Hopefully you won't notice that because the conversation's so good. But on top of that, what I want people to know about Paulie is that we're very different politically. I tend to lean more left, and he tends to lean right. I think it's really important to have people in your life that you don't agree with and that you can have a friendly comedic discourse with. he ribs me about, being a liberal, and I rib him about being a conservative. And so there's a thick layer of sarcasm and satire in a lot of what we say. So hopefully nobody will take anything too seriously. And hopefully you're not going to, take any sort of political side here. It's just two friends talking. I think that everybody should have someone in their life that they disagree with fundamentally on those political levels. Because you get to hear different thoughts that you're not exposed to normally. At the end of the day, we're just people. We're just line cooks. And we're just having a good time. Hopefully I'll have the second part up on the Patreon soon. And so if anybody wants to listen to that, that'll be up there. And hopefully we'll have a continuation of this episode coming out really soon. Hopefully maybe the next one. Maybe that'll be Paulie part 2. Because it's so much fun talking to him. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking to Paulie and editing it and laughing the whole time. Enjoy. You got to fill 50 hours, buddy. Okay.
50 hours.
50 hours. Shit. That's
better come up with some good shit, good stuff.
All your stand-up bits. Get them out. Come on. You're gonna hear.
That's all I have is Jew stuff. You got to cut all this out.
Okay. Of course. Sure.
I was kind of afraid that I might start to veer off into my alt-right QAnon.
You can if you want. I'll take out whatever you want.
And I'd get doxxed and it'd be over for me.
You can say whatever you want, man. I think people are being a little too ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. Be okay.
Let's all just relax, guys.
Is that what we want to talk about?
You're waiting for your cheese over there, so I'm in.
Oh, it's ready. I don't want to eat cheese while we record.
Why not? You're more than welcome to eat some cheese.
That's a good segue into
cheese,
the culinary arts.
See, I shouldn't have told you anything about it.
There we go.
So you didn't know?
I know. I've been preparing this whole day. To say my best kitchen story.
You don't need a best kitchen story, man. Wait, you said your cheese is ready. We go get your cheese.
No, I don't want to eat while we record.
Okay, all right.
That wouldn't be right.
Well, how's the job going, man?
Not great. Things are tough, man. We've been really having a lot of trouble finding employees.
Whoo. Yeah, you and everybody.
I've heard some real horror stories too.
Yeah.
We're in a bad spot because our chef just left us.
That's fucking horrible. Why did he leave?
I don't know. He said something about he just needed to go be, I don't know, himself or chase his other dreams or something. He gave us a 2 weeks notice.
Damn.
And it was a week before a huge event we were going to have. And going into the cold months, we sell soup. So we're in the process of really ramping up and increasing volume by maybe 100%,
Oh, yeah.
And there's a line. I mean,
every day.
There's a line all the time. And well, I don't want to be upset, but it was a difficult time for him to lose our head chef. And so we're facing that now. I did just get a promotion, which is kind of cool.
That's cool. So you're Sue now?
I guess sort of. They gave us all numbers in Japanese. So
okay, is that a thing?
Ichi is number 1.
You're the number 1?
No, I'm not. Ni is number 2 and San is number 3. I'm San. I'm Sanban.
Your son?
Yeah.
Sanban. That sounds like a prison number.
Yeah,
Sanban
maybe.
Literally means number 3.
Right. Is Bon mean number?
You get a tattoo?
I'm gonna get a barcode.
So wait, what does that mean though? Are you pretty much a Sioux?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much a Sioux. I think. I'm making sure everybody does a good job. I'm the expo often. I'm one of the few people that can prep everything, do the bigger, more labor intensive, more technical jobs.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've been there second longest. So. Yeah, it's
damn, dude.
Yeah, it's been okay. It's exciting, but also I don't know. It's a little nerve wracking. I don't know if I have it in me to.
Are you kidding me right now, dude?
Take on the position.
at you were always you were doing that anyway. Remember, me and you were like the ones trying to like keep a standard.
Yeah.
You know, and then it would just kept, you know, nobody would hold to it, and then like especially you, like you would get really upset when people didn't really hold to that thing. So I think you'd be great at it. I mean, if you want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But being a sous chef is, I don't know, man, it's fucking hard work, dude. Do you still work the same hours, like the 12-hour shifts and stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Damn, dude.
So our chef leaving kind of created a vacuum, and all these people are starting to leave.
Damn, man.
Yeah. It's kind of it's like an avalanche. And we will have lost, including our chef, 5 employees.
That is fucking nuts.
5 back of the house cooks, you know.
Jesus, man.
Strong ones too. Not just, you know,
like some like
the new kid who just works fry.
God damn, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's when this is the thing that I never understand about American restaurants. Like at that point, as a business owner, I'd be like, you know what we're doing now? We're serving just soup. Fuck the fry, fuck all that shit. Cut your losses and serve 2 items. You serve a fucking veggie ramen, you serve a chicken ramen, right? Or whatever, you know, limits you can sort of get away with, right? But why are they like extending themselves just to keep this dream alive? It's crazy to me.
So there's a lot of reasons. I don't know. I think my owner's, he's Japanese American. He's really more American in culture than Japanese, but still not opening 7 days a week is gibberish to him. He doesn't understand it. He wouldn't.
Really?
I was like, maybe we could we could close for lunch a few days a week.
So you guys do lunch and dinner service?
Yeah.
That is so much volume. That's insane.
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So I suggested closing maybe a couple of lunches or closing a couple of hours between lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Because from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we'll serve a small handful of people.
Yeah. You're just wasting money.
And you never get a chance. Like one bowl of ramen will pull you away from a prep project for 6 minutes, you know, and you have to stop what you're doing and go cook that one bowl. And
does it seem like he's receptive to that, or does it seem like he's just like,
He's thinking about it. Really, what they're trying to do the most is just get more hands. But I've found that a little bit hard to kind of try to give them some kind of ideas on how to maybe get more people in, or we have all kinds of tools at our disposal, and I don't think we're using them. A lot of businesses aren't.
I mean, that area is kind of saturated right now, you know. You got like barbecue, you got Korean food, you got sushi, you got, you know, fried chicken. It's just like crazy how much shit there is in that area. It's so hard to get a foothold there.
It always is busy, and so that's kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because everybody's super tired, but we're all making money, so we're motivated to go back to the job. But still, it's kind of killing everybody.
Of course, man. Slowly it like kills you.
I don't want to discourage anybody listening to not follow their dreams.
Well, you know, this podcast is just about the realities of working.
What is the reality? I mean, the reality is I'm an over-the-hill cook who needs to look for another job quickly.
Wait, another job, you know? Cooking, or are you trying to get out?
God, I don't know. If I could draw pictures for the rest of my life,
you should.
I'd be really happy. But
I think you could do it.
No, well, in my heart, I think that that's probably not very realistic, you know.
I think you could do it.
I could.
It's a fucking grind, though, dude.
I'll probably be 60 years old with like a roommate, you know.
I see that for both of us, to be honest. Yeah. Like I'm going to be pursuing this fucking art game for a long time, and I just think it's going to be just me, you know, and 2 roommates, you know.
I'm not excited.
But I mean, like I said, dude, you could, I think you could definitely do it. Like, studios are always looking for artists to like do concept art, shit like that. I mean, so to actually be able to draw, dude, that's slowly becoming more valuable over time. But I mean, you can definitely do it, but it is a grind. You got to know that. I mean,
it all becomes a job. Yeah, for sure.
Of course. But I mean, at least it'd be funner than, you know, the stress of fucking cooking, you know?
I guess so. I should try to appreciate what cooking and kitchens have done for me, though.
For sure.
You know?
That's what this is for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I go into work, I'm like, fuck, I'm here again. You know
what is that?
Like, because it's the actual work, dude. Like, but once we create a new dish, dude, it's like, whoa, there it is again, right? But then you do that dish 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. You're just like, oh, there it is. It's gone.
Yeah, the excitement.
You create that one thing the first day, or like the development of it, and like it, you know, everybody sort of has a hand in it, and then you start prepping it for the first time, learning how to like run that station, and then it just becomes tedious.
Yeah, I was saying the other day to my chef that I wish it. I told her I don't think it has to be this hard. You know, it shouldn't have to be this hard.
I don't get it either.
And yet it just always ends up being ridiculously difficult.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, but I think it always has to do with numbers. In America, it's like you guys' restaurant is bigger than it needs to be. Like ramen and soup is turn and burn. You fucking have 12 seats, you fucking get people in, they slurp that shit up and they get the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
You know? But the inclination in America is to like have 40 seats and, you know, keep people there drinking and like have a few turns.
Appetizers, push desserts,
push
you know,
all this shit. Like, it's like, dude, you'll have more income if you just turn and burn that shit. Like fucking like yakitori, people come in, they fucking eat a few things, they have a few beers and they go to a fucking bar if you want to drink, you know, don't take up my seats. Like that's how they do it in Japan.
Yeah. Where it might be more expensive to live. I mean, depending on where you are, right?
Yeah, depending on where you are. I mean, it's kind of, but it's just, there's such limited space that like restaurants just do small things, you know, especially in Tokyo. It's like, this is the ramen place. This is the sushi place. And there's no crossover. And because it's like, why make it so fucking hard? You know what I mean? It depends on the level of the restaurant, right? Like I feel kind of the same way. I'm like, why are we making this so hard on ourselves? We work 12-hour days. It seems like too much. And we to hold ourselves to like a higher standard because we clean everything every night. And then, so that's nice. That keeps your kind of your focus and it keeps you feeling, you know, proud of your work and stuff. At the same time, it's like, why are we working so hard?
I mean, it is good, I guess. And you definitely, because I'm a, you know, a devout capitalist. I think that there should be levels of a product. You know, you should be able to buy a hamburger for $3, or if you want, you can go and buy a $40 hamburger. And if you can afford it, or if not necessarily, but you want it anyway, then go for it. You know. So I guess I am kind of in conflict in that way, because I want people to chase their dreams. And I think competition is really like at the heart of capitalism and, you know, really just going out and kind of manifesting your own destiny.
But the heart of capitalism is just offering more choices, right? And the strongest survive, right? So
yeah.
But in cooking, that should be, you offer the best product, not the most product, not the most seating, not the most beer. It's like you offer the best product. People are always going to come back to the best product.
Well, hopefully.
Ramen Tatsuya, like people come back to that because it's like the best branding, the best. Well, I mean, for most people, it's the best ramen in town,
right? The first name on the tip of their tongues.
Exactly. Yeah. So like it's not only name recognition, but it's a reliable, good product all the time. And so like that should be the case with, if you're talking about capitalism and cooking, well, then it should just be about making the best food, right?
You would hope so. Sometimes it's more about, you know, marketing, and it's not necessarily the best. I know. I'm just saying, I like ideally it would be. You'd hope that would be the case. I think though, often in history, we've seen products that were technically better than than successful items, than the actual successful alternative, their competitor. And it's almost like we don't want too good of a product, or someone is trying to avoid there being too good of a product out there, you know? Yeah, I don't know. You've never thought about opening your own spot? I have. Actually, Nikki and I were talking about. I'm trying to convince him that we should do a barbecue pop-up at Fukumoto.
Barbecue?
Yeah.
Like what kind of barbecue? Like Texas?
Texas barbecue, but like with our own sort of take on stuff.
You don't think that's like saturated?
Even if it is, I would hope that people would be like, oh, cool. I don't know. Maybe we can make a few bucks.
Yeah.
And if we really kind of develop a cool menu, limit ourselves to like 8 items.
8?
Maybe. Is that a lot?
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it's just one beautiful night with chefs Nick and Paul, you know?
That's what you guys, that's the thing. Every evening is called that. Just one beautiful night with chefs Nick and Paul.
And that would be it. Once we sell out, maybe we'd be done, or we'd limit it to just a few tickets, maybe 100 tickets or so. And see how it worked out. Maybe get our name out there and see if we could schmooze some people to give us more money and pay for it.
You have to be really different though. Like one of the best new restaurants. This is this place in town called best new restaurant in the country by Eaters standards. Is this place in town called Distant Relatives. It's a barbecue truck at Meanwhile Brewing, and they do like African inspired Texas barbecue. So they're
like a giraffe, a pulled giraffe.
That's cute. You're canceled. Why barbecue?
Well, Nick got this smoker and we've only used it once. You didn't come over
but why not utilize what? No, I didn't come over for that. He got really mad at me when I said I had to work.
Oh, that's right.
It was fuck you, man.
Of course he said.
I was like, Jesus, all right, I gotta work, man. I have to work.
Oh, well. It was undercooked, the brisket. It was a little bit chewy.
Uh-oh.
I'm totally calling him out.
You can't have that if you're doing a pop-up.
No, I know. No, I was going to buy a really nice thermometer, like with like a Wi-Fi app or something on it.
Oh, okay.
I'll just wake up at 7 in the morning.
But like, why not use what you have there at Fukumoto to like do something utilizing that? I
guess I wonder if Kazu would be okay with it, because the pop-ups he has held there were always kind of Asian-inspired cooks, and well, they are all Asian cooks.
Yeah, because he I think he would do it for people that he trusts and that he likes.
Right. Well, Peon had one there.
Oh, really?
He's also opening up a food truck soon.
Okay.
Anyway, he had one with
your boy. Never had a drink in his life, and he's opening a food truck. Jesus Christ.
He's I know. He's
good for him.
He was working with some of the chefs from She's Not Here. I staged there once, and
you said that
they had such beautiful fish and a really great kitchen.
But it was like mismanaged, or what happened?
I'm guessing it was, because it was a gorgeous dining room, and their drink program looked really good. All their servers were solid, it seemed. I don't know why it failed.
How was that stage though?
It was chill. They wanted me to do anything. They were. Now that I think about it, I think they were super desperate for anybody. They were like, geez, just please take the job. We'll offer you $17 an hour plus tips, Jeez,
man.
Yeah.
You didn't take it?
No, I didn't take it. I turned it down because I felt like I'd be leaving Kazu in a bad position. And so, yeah.
You got to do what's right for you at the end of the day, man,
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really have a clear picture of what that is. So
okay, yeah, that's a good rebuttal.
I don't have, my vision is kind of blurry.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Also, kind of,
Yeah, look at me. I'm doing a fucking podcast. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, what is this?
What the fuck is going on? I have no idea.
No, this is going to be.
No one wants to hear my voice.
This is going to be the biggest episode in your podcast.
It's going to hit real big in the far right.
Yeah, sure.
Shit. I don't know, man. Like, I've been thinking a lot about like doing pop-ups as well, because I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, what else is there to do, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, okay.
I feel like there needs to be like something different. Like, where's that fucking fire? You know what I mean? All you serve is brisket or some crazy shit like that. And you make your own Wonder Bread. People are like, fuck you for making Wonder Bread. But then they try it. It's amazing. That kind of weird shit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could make Wonder Bread. I've made like
here we go.
I've made like a Pullman loaf, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to bake the milk bread, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm terrible at baking, but I know a guy who's really good. Actually, you know, Travis from Brewer's Table.
Oh, yeah, Travis. Yeah. That guy's cool.
Yeah, he's kind of perfected the milk bread thing. It's like
that's
fluffy.
Cool.
Yeah. He's looking to do some shit too. If you're looking for a little collab or something, maybe he'd be down for it. I don't know.
Probably not. I don't think I'm at his level.
He's the cook like everybody else, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I fall into like the cool kids club, even though I know a lot of those kids.
He's not a cool kid. He's just there's no cool kid.
Yeah, no, there's cool kids.
There isn't though. I've always thought that. There's not.
You could be one of them, but you're not. That's why you're talking this way.
But I'm not. I'm really not. See, I think like it's nothing cool about it. It's just can you work the line?
Yeah.
Right? And most people can't. Even people who are in that scene.
That is takes a special person to do that.
Like to be able to set up a line, do it in enough time to like get, set up for service, to work service properly and cleanly and make everything good the whole time through, and then also shut down properly so that the next day it's easy. That's a skill that's hard to come by nowadays. And it's not being a cool kid. It's just being a good cook, Yeah,
well, no, but a lot of it. So when to reach the upper echelons, there's a lot of marketing and, rubbing of elbows and stuff and pulling on coattails and stuff.
But is there though? Well,
I think so. Yeah, especially in this town.
Oh yeah. I was going to use Bryce as an example. Well, Bryce kind of did it himself. But also his dad is Jack Allen, right? So like he has Jack Allen's Kitchen. He probably had a little bit of that money behind him, helping him. But he opened a food truck, right? With a grill inside. And then, opened a restaurant, a small restaurant, made that work and like slowly grew over 10 years. So it is possible. I mean, people do it all the time. This town, it's kind of become saturated. I'll tell you what though, dude. We went to Worst Fest yesterday and New Braunfels. Dude, it's popping off down there.
Really?
Like really popping off. Yeah, like we went to this little like dive bar or like a cocktail bar underground. And I was like, whoa, this seems like Austin like 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, it was really strange.
That sounds awesome, actually. I love that.
It was really like a small town kind of vibe, but also like people were doing something interesting.
Yeah.
In that environment. Yeah.
Austin 15 years ago was like Paris in the 1920s.
Okay. So a big comparison, dude.
I'm telling you. You didn't know about it back then.
Well, I was here 50 years ago.
Were you really?
Yeah. I was
15 years ago?
No, I like 12 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's when I first started coming out. Like I visited a couple times. It was about maybe 15 or 13 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And this is the place to be, Everyone wanted to hang out down here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still the same thing. Just from LA now. Everybody from LA wants to come out.
I guess so.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I have some neighbors down the way that moved in. They moved into this weird new super modern architecture house that I hate it. It's ugly.
Uh-huh.
And I saw their brand new Toyota 4Runner and their brand new Tacoma, both with California license plates. And then the next day, they probably lived at this house for a week before they immediately changed their license plates over to Texas. And I don't know why they would have done it, but they did it real quick. And it seemed like they got both of their cars switched over.
It's a trendy thing to be Texan now.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people they move here and they immediately start using pronouns like we and us and like, down here. Yeah. That's how we do it down here. I was like, excuse me?
Like I've seen a lot of
What do you mean, you people?
I've seen a lot of memes lately of like Californians saying like, or like TikToks and stuff, people being like, when you start using y'all, you know you're a real Texan. It's like, no, not really.
Please stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I love California. I think California is one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It's a shame those fucking liberals fucked it up. Huh?
Damn commies.
Oh, shit.
I mean, what happens? It's not really that. It's just that so there's like you get this big cherry, this big honey pot, and then everybody wants to get a taste of that honey, and they all rush for it, and they surround it and crowd it.
Wait, is Texas the honey?
Dude, Austin might be the
Austin's the honey.
The honey pot, you know?
Okay. And
then they go and they all eat it and they lay waste to it. And then they move on to the next honey pot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And it's just human nature, I guess, maybe.
It's weird that we're the spot though, because we were not for so long. It was Portland. Remember Portland? It was like everybody's moving to Portland.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like Austin is the thing now.
Portland's probably still experiencing a huge influx of newcomers.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never been up to the Pacific Northwest, but I'd love to see it. I don't know. I haven't traveled as much as I would have liked.
Yeah, get out there, buddy.
I don't want to go anymore. Too old.
You're not that old, man.
I'm old. I went to Target today and I just felt grumpy.
That could be depression before it's old age. What do you mean, man?
It's probably a little bit of both.
Is this the longest you've ever stayed at a job? Because you're notorious for moving around.
I'm a tumbleweed, yeah. Let's see. So,
or was it Fuku?
Fukumoto, I was there for a little while, maybe like almost 2 years, on and off.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, you were.
I left and came back.
Time, yeah.
And then I kind of got fired after the second time.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, well, maybe just like
out of all the employees,
I don't know.
Who fucked him over?
I don't know.
I'm the one that got fired.
I don't think he did get fired. I think he was just like, I think he was doing it for your own good. I think he's just like, you know what? You don't want to be here. Just don't.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that like, okay? Yeah. Actually, I didn't think about that. I hope that's what it is.
I think he really likes you. I think he wishes you wanted to be there, but it's like you don't. So it's like, why?
I was already
make everybody.
I was working 1 day a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, he's fucked right now.
Is he really?
Like everybody else, but
right.
Yeah. Does Nick not talk about that?
He does, but I don't know. Maybe he downplays it, or maybe they're handling it okay or something.
Dude, there's like 3 cooks in the kitchen. It's like him, Lopez, Cesar is a cook now, and like
right.
Jack maybe once in a while.
I almost poached Cesar.
Yeah.
Is that evil?
That's what this whole thing is, man. Everybody just poaches everybody.
I know. Well, apparently he was only working three days a week.
What?
Well, he kind of, I don't know what happened. He stopped showing up, and he kind of, one of those times where he got too drunk during the weekend and then just didn't show up for 2 or 3 days. What happened was he came in and then he told one of the other guys to tell Kazu that thank you for the job, but I have to leave.
Yeah.
And so he did that and he walked out, I think. But I mean, a couple months later, he was back at the door.
Of course.
Like always, every time he comes back.
Yeah.
But I tried to poach him because we need a dishwasher, and it didn't work out. They only offered him $15 an hour.
That's lunacy, man.
How much would you offer a dishwasher?
$30 an hour.
A
good dishwasher is invaluable, dude.
I was telling Nick that we should have offered him 20. I've even heard of $24 an hour.
For a dishwasher? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Of course. Dude, I feel like the dishwasher is paid a ton of money.
I know.
Because he does way more than anybody else. He peels garlic, juices like all the citrus for the restaurant.
Really?
On top of that, he does 2 days by himself, and then he has a helper on the weekends. He's getting everybody's bus tubs all across the kitchen. He's putting up all the dishes by himself. He's washing all the dishes by himself. He's putting away special silverware. Like, it's fucking crazy what he has to do. You know what I mean? So like they definitely deserve a shitload of money.
Yeah, I think and
they're the backbone. Like, if you have a good dishwasher, man, you can fuck off with a few, cooks.
Yeah, right. They can. Some of them even step in and cook a little bit too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the dishwasher at Daidue was getting paid $24 an hour, and I was like, wow. When I heard that, he told me just straight up, he was a man that talked a lot, and he wasn't short for words, and he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm getting paid $24 an hour, in Spanish, obviously. Needless to say.
You mean he wasn't like a young white man?
No, he wasn't a young white man.
Just fresh out of college?
You know, prim and proper. Wearing his lovely, you know, I don't know, collared shirts, brand new.
Wait. So wait,
Oxford
what's the longest job you ever had?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's not been long.
You gotta know.
So I worked at KFC for a year.
Whoa, you worked at KFC.
That was my first job.
Oh shit, that was your first job.
I was 17.
Yeah?
It was kind of late. I was a lazy boy.
Late? Dude, I had
at 17?
16.
Yeah, dude.
I had a 16.
I know.
My dad forced me to get it though. It's like
there's kids that work at
14 or
at 15. And they're smart, hard workers too.
Yeah, Shion's been working since he was like, what, 14, 15, something like that?
Well, his ass had to. His dad owned the restaurant.
Yeah.
So,
he's like, get the fuck in here, I need help.
Olenka was working since she was 12 or 13.
That's craziness, man.
Yeah, but like, you know her, how smart and like quick-witted she is, you know?
Oh, yeah, because I mean, you grow up in that. Like,
right.
How are you not going to... Wait, so you start working at KFC?
KFC.
Why KFC?
My buddy got a job there.
so you got the job because your buddy had the job?
We needed Little Caesars hot and ready money. And
it's $5.
I know. Yeah, exactly. $5 we didn't have without that job. And
it's amazing how little money you have when you're a kid. You're just desperate for it.
I know.
A quarter.
I'm always looking at kids like looking at stuff and then putting it back. And I'm like, I can buy that.
Yeah,
I could buy it myself. Yeah. I was looking at this stupid Nerf gun.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can afford it. I get a little nervous buying stuff, but I said, why not?
So many years later,
I just got a raise. Why shouldn't I buy a Nerf gun?
There you go. Yeah, you got a Switch, buddy. Buy whatever you want.
Exactly.
Just have a little PS5.
I didn't learn to really enjoy my money until today when I bought the Nerf gun.
I didn't learn to enjoy it until I got this job, and then I was like, you know, I'm making a decent amount of money, and I'm suffering enough, so fuck it, I'm gonna go out to eat.
Yeah.
You know, you just go out to eat to like fancy restaurants, and you get disappointed a lot.
Yeah, at fancy restaurants, don't do it, dude. Stop.
Sometimes you get impressed though.
It's
pretty rare though. It's pretty rare.
It's hard. You got to know like which kitchen you want to go to.
Yeah. I also feel like as a cook, I think we have like kind of an obligation to, if you're going to stay in this business, to kind of be involved in the scene.
You have to go show up. So I'm telling you, that's the cool kid mentality.
That's not the cool. That's just me.
That's what you're part of the scene.
I like what scene? You're part
you
of the
just
scene
talked
too.
about the scene. Now I know everybody, but I'm not part of the scene.
You're part of the scene, whether you like it or not. You're part of the scene because you're a cook and you're in this town. It doesn't matter. You're part of the scene.
I was always like the opposite side of the magnet, you know?
What do you mean?
My wife.
What does that mean? Like some crazy metaphor you create in your head. Like,
I don't think so.
What do you mean?
Well, what happens when you introduce? No. Sorry, opposite sides of the magnets attract each other. What happens when you
like the same magnets?
No. So what you want?
The same polarity. They repel.
If you have if you put positive to positive, they'll repel.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant.
So is that what you're saying? You're saying so you should be a part of it, but you're repelled from it.
I repel them, and I'm repelled by them.
I am too, but mainly it's just because I feel like I don't know. I don't want to be a cook, but at the same time, I'm a cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't quite mesh up.
Oh God, I know exactly how that feels.
So you just fell into cooking then?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, what else was I going to do in El Paso in 2005 or whatever? I have no idea what else I was going to do.
It seems like everybody does that. My choice was more deliberate. I was just like, I just tried to find a job and it was a shitty job. And I was like, you know what? I like cooking. So I'll be a cook. But you were just like, I like fried chicken. I'm going to go, oh no, I like hot and readies.
I loved Hot and Ready's. That was my motivation.
You didn't want to go to work at Little Caesars to get the free Hot and Ready's?
No, I would have gotten tired of them.
So you want to earn the money to buy the Hot and Ready's. Are you tired of KFC now?
I haven't had KFC in maybe 10 years.
Okay.
I don't know where the closest KFC to me is.
Right now to us going to KFC. Okay,
we're here now at KFC. Is it good? Have you had KFC?
Fuck no, it's terrible, dude. I haven't had it in decades, but
it's not
never
bad.
Good.
It's good.
Popeyes is way better, dude.
It's technically better, but
isn't that better?
But no, the flavors are better.
the secret spice?
The 12 herbs and spices.
Okay, well now we're gonna cut to the second part of this podcast where me and Paul taste test all the chickens.
There was this one time my grandma made fried chicken. Well, at least they said she made it. Maybe they were joking with me, but it tasted exactly like KFC. And I
think it's way easier to make than people realize.
Dude, no, it's not. Because
so
they make it in a lab.
Yeah, but it had to start somewhere, right?
Either my grandmother is a culinary genius or she was lying to me. I'm not ready to take on either of those facts, you know?
Okay. What was it like working there? Like, did you work the back or did you work the front?
I was slow and kind of lazy, so I worked the front counter.
Oh, okay. So
I was the guy that would be like, I didn't make it. I didn't cook.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't work the drive-through, which was like, you needed to be quick.
Yeah, I don't understand how those people do it, dude. They're doing like 5 things at once.
No, I was
hard.
I was never ready for that job. It's interesting because I wasn't a cook there. I would prep a little bit. And when I left that job, I went to work at Village Inn and I was a server.
No fucking way.
You know Village Inn?
Forgot about Village Inn, dude.
It's so good.
It was like the Denny's of the South, right?
Yeah, kind of.
It had those orange, like, it looked like an IHOP, right? The old school IHOPs with the points.
It was basically an IHOP, but yeah, kind of a regional.
Dude, they had great hash browns, which is weird to say. Every place has the same fucking hash browns.
They had good
hash browns, good branding. I liked it.
Their pies, they had their homemade pies.
They had a pie case.
Such good pies.
Dude, they had a pie case, which is kind of gone now.
You can't even find pie in Austin.
No.
There isn't one pie.
Hoover's is pie.
They have cobbler, not pie. Don't lie to our listeners.
Wait, so you worked at Village Inn? Did you work a cook there?
No, fuck no.
When the fuck did you start cooking? What is going on?
It took me a while. I didn't cook until I worked at Tycoon. Really. Not seriously. I know.
Wait. But what were you doing at Village Inn?
At Village Inn, I was a server. I know. I can't picture it either.
I can't picture it either. Being a server.
No. Yeah.
How long were you a server?
I'm a good server, but I'm not the most personable server. You know, I'm not like a cute girl that'll charm you, or like a funny guy that'll like.
You just get the job.
Yeah. Here's your bolognese or whatever.
You guys serve bolognese at Village Inn?
Fuck no.
So what was that job like? Because I gotta admit, I have a fascination with like IHOP, Denny's, and that culture because it seems so fucking hard. Probably a lot of like desperation and a lot of people who got out of jail or like fucked up. You know, it's like kind of a last resort kind of place.
The cooks did seem to be that way. You know, they all had like a little teardrop tattoo.
Shit. Yeah,
and like. If you ask for something wrong in a way they didn't like, they didn't like you. They're like, fuck that guy. You know?
Yeah.
All the cute girls got everything they wanted, but I was like, dude, can I just get that bacon cheese, please?
You got big with them, yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no, we just dropped it. I'm sorry, we gotta fucking do it over again. We didn't see that. You didn't put it in on time.
Did you kind of idealize those guys?
No.
Really?
Fuck those guys. They were dirtbags.
That's funny because like when I worked at Red Robin, I was a busser. I kind of idealized those guys because like I saw that kind of shit and I was like, man, I wish I could be like those guys. Like they look like they got confidence. You know, they're killing it, right?
Those guys have it all figured out.
Yeah. Dang, dude. How long did you stay there, man?
I was there for maybe a year.
I wonder what happened to that fucking place.
So they just changed to, God, and it's so stupid. They just changed to Butterworths or something. There's not many of them left. They had to sell their brand and their name. They're changing all their restaurants to Buttersmith or something like that.
What?
I know, it's the stupidest name ever.
That's not a good name. Yeah.
No.
Especially since Butterworths, didn't they just have to change their name or something like that?
I wonder if there's some kind of like weird licensing thing where they weren't allowed to use the Village Inn name. Because that's an established name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I thought it was like a very old, like Howard Johnson's. I thought it was like a Howard Johnson's kind of deal where it's like super old.
I mean, who's been to a Howard Johnson's in the past 10 years?
Well, Howard Johnson's changed to hotels only.
This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta make a shirt. That's your new catchphrase. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, so they're gonna change to Mr. Buttersmith. And they're gonna stop doing pies. They're gonna stop doing
dude.
They did a lot of
brand.
They did a lot of Mexican food. They're stopping.
They did.
They're stopping doing that.
Fuck that.
No more enchiladas. No more menudo. Nothing. And
sucks, man.
I know. I mean, I guess it really does put into like a nice framing, like Biden's America.
You had to.
No, not really. Not really.
You had to fit it there, dude.
So, I mean, this really is what you get when you put socialists into power. And I mean, well,
they
no,
homogenize.
I'm just kidding. But in a way, it doesn't. I don't know what the reason for it is. But in so many ways, the American dream is dying very quickly. Like,
I think it has a lot to do with globalism and like homogenizing. Like, everything's just getting homogenized, right? Even people, you see it in Mexico. Even people in Mexico are like, they all have the same shit that we do. It's just in a different form, kind of. It's like, it sucks that you go to a different country and you go to the, rural place in a different country and they have the same shit you have. It's like, what? Yeah. Why do you have Cheetos down here? Why? It sucks. I don't know.
You don't like Cheetos?
I love Cheetos, but I'm just saying that it kind of sucks that like they don't have their own Cheetos.
Yeah, right. They have Cheetos, right? Like,
or like
you guys can't make it.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Well, we have Takis up here too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want it to all be different. Why can't it all be different?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, globalization has really, like, why do we deserve to have the freshest mozzarella down here?
We shouldn't have it.
Almost. Like, you should have to go to freaking Italy to go get that.
Yeah. Or make it yourself.
Shit. Yeah.
Why the fuck
Even
is
then,
that?
the milk is not ever going to be that, like, up to those standards.
I honestly don't drink milk anymore for that reason. It's like, if you have good milk, you're like, why the fuck am I drinking shitty milk? Like, I'll go to Michigan and get like some really good quality milk,
You'd think we'd have better milk here in Texas.
It's not a pasture country. We do good goat milk.
Yeah.
Great goat milk.
It's not pasture.
It's not pasture, yeah. We don't have enough grass.
Yeah. I mean, don't we? We have so much fucking land.
Well, I guess they just don't use the cows for dairy. That's weird.
There isn't a lot of dairies down here.
Yeah, isn't that weird? We sell the most beef, but we don't have any dairy.
Maybe the money is in the beef. The
money is in the beef.
Yeah.
That's another shirt you're gonna make. The money's in the beef. And then it has an arrow pointing down.
Oh my God. No.
On the back.
I don't want to get in trouble.
That's not going to get you in trouble.
I don't like to rock the boat.
Biden's America.
Oh,
That's going to get you in trouble. Saying how you want old people to die. That's going to be.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't say that. I'm just going to twist the words. I'm going to put in some auto and some intelligent voiceover.
Maybe old people shouldn't be allowed to run anything anymore. What's your opinion on the boomer generation? A lot of people think that they got us into this shitty fucking rut that we're in.
Kind of, yeah. But you know what? It's our own fault because you know what? Boomers voted. We didn't vote. Mm-hmm. So like you can't fucking complain when 60% of people who voted were boomers and then the rest did not vote, right? You can't complain when you'd had no hand in it, right? It's like talk to anybody who makes boomer jokes or talks about boomers or complains about boomers. Ask them how many elections they voted in the last 8 years or how many years they've been an adult. I guarantee you it's 0 to 1. So fuck them. They can't say anything. If you want to change it, go to fucking local elections and and of course vote for the president, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But you have to fucking...
It's almost as if that doesn't even matter anymore, you know? Because as much as I vote and try to be there, like, so I voted for Prop A just recently.
Why, dude?
For more cops.
Why, dude?
I don't know. I think the city spends its money really poorly. And I think that there's this initiative to kind of be soft on crime. And I don't like it. Especially considering the fact that murders have skyrocketed by like 400%. But that could be up to so many people coming in too, right? Yeah.
And also, but
then don't you think we should also increase our police force as more people come in?
Because I'll give you multiple reasons. One is that when they say murders increased by 400% or whatever, you're not telling me what those murders are from, right? Is that drug related? Is that domestic violence? So you got to give me some details on those murders, right? Mm-hmm. Secondly, I don't think the Austin police force is using their money. The money that they get, what, like 70% of all Austin income goes to the police. You're telling me they need more money? If they're not using that money effectively, well, then they're not doing their jobs right, because that is fucked up. They should be utilizing more community involvement. The best thing about Prop A was that they said they're going to require police officers to have a mandatory, 300 hours in Spanish. And I was like, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Like, get more community involvement. There's way better resources than just throw more bodies at the problem, right? Because those bodies are not going to be technically trained better. But
to bring it back to restaurants, I sort of wish, I'm like, I don't even care. We just need 4 employees. I'd rather have 4 just whatever people than 1 really good cook who probably wouldn't even want to stay at our restaurant.
What are you really worried about? Are you worried about the quality of the food? Or are you worried about just getting the job done?
I'm worried about just getting the job done. I think we can.
Why? Why do you think that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just so tired.
I think that's what it is. Because you always struck me like, that's the moment I met you. The first day I was like, that's the guy to fucking latch onto. That's the dude. Because you
Did you latch on to me?
Not latch on, but like, I was like, Jack was in my ear, and Dan and a few other people, or whoever was working there at the time, they're all telling me how to do things. And I was like, that kind of doesn't seem right, but okay, I don't know anything about yakitori.
Yeah.
And then I would do something and you'd be like, you should do it this way because of this. And I was like, oh, okay, this fucking guy knows what he's talking about, because you're telling me how to do it, why it should be done that way. Like, it's a quality thing, right? And they weren't doing that. They were going like, do it this way. And I was like,
do it this way because it's easier for us.
But I don't know what that means. So I don't think that you're that. I think you're a quality guy.
I am a quality guy. Sometimes. Actually, the other day I fucked up. I didn't do a thing, and I just put it on the line, like kind of a halfway done prep item.
How did that feel?
Not great. I got called out, and I was like, fuck. I was in the middle of doing all kinds of shit, and I shouldn't make excuses, but it's been rough, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're gonna have to just put out stuff that's like, I would never put out anything that's inedible.
Yeah, but it's kind of like below your quality and you feel bad about it.
It wasn't what we usually do. I don't know. So we sous vide chicken breasts, and then we slice it thin on a deli slice. Well, no, and then we cool it down and coat it in black pepper and sear it in olive oil. And then we slice it thin, and that's our chicken chashu. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't sear it and pepper it, which I was definitely I was definitely taking a shortcut, but I don't know. It's not seasoned. It's unseasoned chicken breast.
Is it always unseasoned?
It's always unseasoned.
Why?
Well,
You don't brine it?
no, not at all.
Why?
We don't have to. It's not necessarily better. The soup is already really seasoned.
Yeah, but then it's like, but you're like biting into like an unseasoned thing inside of like a seasoned soup.
A really thin layer of chicken.
Yeah.
It's like 2 millimeters thin. And
Have you ever tried to brine it and see what it changes?
no, we haven't. So our pork chashu is marinated in soy sauce. And so that's seasoned. And I don't know. It's I'm not sure why they've been doing it that way. It's okay. I don't hate it. One of the new chefs doesn't love it, and we might change that up. We've been doing it this long, and it's not the worst. Ramen is already very salty.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I don't know. I mean, adding more salt, you do have to be careful about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's odd. I'm not sure. A lot of the processes there are kind of iffy, but it's what they do, and so we just keep doing it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, right?
It's tough to get the owner to want to change anything. And yeah, I mean, we've changed a couple of things up, but for now we're sticking with the old formula. We're he's calling plays from the old playbook, and that's what we're doing now, even though our chef's gone and we're super understaffed. And yeah, we're still trying to hold, you have to worry about your customers, because you can't just, do a 180 on them and completely change your product. Or maybe you can, but there is a risk there,
Mm-hmm. Or you just slowly make it better, and then people just go like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, oh, this is way better than the last time.
It's difficult. We're not trying to excel, we're trying to remain consistent.
Yeah. Do you think consistency is like kind of an enemy of excellent restaurants?
I don't know.
Are your favorite restaurants consistent?
A lot.
Or do you just you go to it because they had a great thing one time and you keep going back?
That's a good question.
Be good.
So I've had that experience where I had a really, really great meal. And then I've gone back and it's not been so great. And then sometimes it's gotten even worse where it was really not good at all. And even then, sometimes I go back. But yeah, that's an interesting, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think if you're going to have, the old favorites, you ought to try to reach the same quality as much as possible.
Well, I guess if you were opening your restaurant, would you strive for consistency, or would you strive for excellence every time?
That's really hard to say, because I get bored of cooking the same things over and over. And a lot of restaurants will only cook what's seasonal and change their entire menu every few months. But most restaurants don't do that, They don't. That really is only for the most artistic, most, high-end restaurants. I think mostly anyway. The rest of the market is restaurants trying to do the same thing well over and over and over again, which is understandable. It's a system that it's almost the most, it's the most obvious system,
But why is it that people will go, this is the way it should be done, and they keep it that way? Because people like us, the cooks, we get fucking bored. It's like, why not change it? Right? And then, a couple months from now, you go, that version was pretty good. Let's go back to that version, And then having learned what you learned making those new dishes, you put it into that one, and then it gets better and better. Right? Am I wrong about that?
Well, ideally, you're right, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. I don't know, if you're selling at a high volume, it's sometimes difficult to keep your head above water, and in those times it's impossible to put something new on the menu or completely change the way you do things. I don't know.
Are you guys doing really well?
Yeah, I mean, as the weather gets colder, we get busier and busier. We're able to sustain it for now, but But yeah, I mean, it's really difficult, and we still haven't finished losing some employees. I think we're now entering the second week of a couple of 2-week notices, really important ones, you know? And so, yeah, after this week will be, where it's going to be even tougher than it already is.
I think what's going to happen is like a lot of independent restaurants are going to collapse.
Sure.
Because people want more, like after the pandemic, people want more money. They expect more money. They expect like better hours. They expect better benefits.
Which sucks. It only puts more strain on everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, it's almost like a year away from cooking for people, or being in kitchens kind of made them forget that like, this kind of is what the job is. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that that's what it is. I've always not had insurance. I've always been, paid well for what my job is because I work hard. But that's kind of what it is. It sucks that I think a lot of restaurants are going to kind of go under because people are leaving those sort of jobs to go be at jobs that pay more, right? Just because they pay more.
It's really sad because it's almost like, I don't know if the restaurants that have opened in the last 10 years have the longevity that restaurants used to have. So after I left Village Inn, I worked at this place called Capetto's in El Paso, which was the Italian restaurant to go to in El Paso.
Still there?
They closed down finally.
When?
So they closed their original location after 53 years. And then, I don't know, a few years passed and they reopened and they tried to run it for another 2 or 3 years. And then finally they called it quits. Nobody wanted to take over the old man's position as the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah. He didn't have kids?
He had a bunch of kids. They had a big family, and the whole family would come in and eat every Sunday.
But they didn't.
All the uncles and the nephews and the kids would run around, but no one wanted to run the fucking restaurant. Of course not.
It's a death trap if you don't want to do it.
Yeah. It was good, though.
Was that the first time you cooked?
I didn't cook there either.
Damn, dude. What?
I was an amazing busser. Amazing.
So you went from waiting tables to bussing tables?
Yeah. So, I mean, selling omelets and slices of pie is different from selling, steaks and wine and stuff. So
so it was like a step up for you.
I felt it was a better restaurant.
It was classy.
And it was a place that, I wanted to work my whole life because
there's some Guidos in there, huh?
Yeah.
Doing some...
Not really.
Okay.
It was our version of Guidos, but they were all Mexicans.
Wait, was the owner Mexican?
He was. They were Armenian.
And it was an Italian restaurant?
It was an Italian restaurant.
How good was the food, though?
It was... So, by Italian standards, it was not good. But by Mexican standards, it was the best thing we'd ever tasted.
I love that.
I mean, an Italian person eating there would have vomited and quickly left. Oh, actually, I did vomit there once as a kid.
Food? Yeah,
we went there as a family, for birthdays and I don't know, graduations and stuff.
Was it like one of those kooky hometown restaurants and they have a Italian chef who's like a character?
Yeah, like a little mascot.
Oh shit,
There was. It was with a big stupid hat.
Oh no.
Dude, but it was really good. It was so good back then. Some of what they did was amazing. And I have a lot of fond memories of that place, and then finally I worked there and I moved up to being a server. I served for the longest time. I can't believe I've had maybe 50 jobs in restaurants.
That's insane to me, man.
I know.
It's going to be like a 15-part episode.
I really do need
explaining every job.
I need to make a list of all of them because I've forgotten half of them, honestly. I was like, oh yeah, I did work there. That's right.
How long did you stay there?
I was there for another 2 years. And actually, I was on and off there.
Wow.
I left and I think I worked at P.F. Chang's. When P.F. Chang's opened up in El Paso.
Man. Okay.
No, I don't. When P.F. Chang's opened up in El Paso, it was the spot to work.
When P.F. Chang's opened everywhere, they kind of picked where they were going to open and people were like, dude, you heard about this new Chili's type spot that served Chinese food.
Yeah, dude.
People love that shit.
A bunch of people I knew worked there. So many hot chicks. Everyone wanted to work there. And I got fired, actually.
Oh, damn.
I wasn't good. There was this little gay guy, I remember. He was this little tiny, he must have been 5'2", and he was very, very openly gay. Like, he was as gay as you can get, if there's such a thing. Sorry. Anyway, we had these really super wide trays. You might have seen like the regular food trays that you can carry, maybe 6.
The circle ones?
Yeah. They were ovals.
Yeah.
And well, we had these extra big ones, which I'd never seen before.
Oh yeah.
And he would fill it up with all kinds of plates and then walk with it all the way lifted, his arm extended as high as he could walk with it. And he never dropped a plate. On this one day, I heard after I got fired, I had heard that something happened. People were breaking plates. And the manager was like, next person that breaks a plate in my kitchen is fired. And so I was a buster there. I got all these plates. I didn't know what I was doing. I never dropped a tray after that. But I did. I walked into the kitchen. The whole thing fell. I broke like 15 plates. And the manager, the owner or whoever he was like, clock out. And yeah, that was the end of my day at P.F. Chang's.
But that has nothing to do with you. That's like Bill. You were like a casualty of the.
I sucked. No, I wasn't fit for the job. Actually, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have been there. It was a good call on his part.
We got to get your confidence up, man. You're so good that you don't know you're good.
No, I'm not that good.
You're great.
Dude, I dropped all the plates.
Oh my God, give me a fucking break. Who doesn't drop fucking plates?
Please, I don't drop plates anymore.
Drop plates. Exactly. You know what? Other people will drop plates like that and then they go, that's whatever. And then they drop more plates. You didn't drop the plates ever again.
No, I learned the hard way.
That's good. That's better than not learning at all.
Yeah.
Where'd you go after that?
Where did I go after that? I think I bounced around. I was in a bad way, you know. I was sort of depressed and disillusioned after my being fired from there.
I mean, getting fired from anywhere, yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
And so I jumped around a little bit. I worked at a barbecue restaurant. I quit. I sort of walked out. Or no, I just didn't go back in. I was hired on as a buster there, and I had bought these brand new Onitsuka Tigers.
I don't know what that is.
They're Asics. They're shoes.
Okay, all right.
You've seen them before.
Are those the ones with the Pumas on the side, or is that something?
No. That's a Puma.
Okay, all right. I don't know what that is.
No. Also, do you want to see it?
I wear Converse. That's all I wear.
I bought these Onitsuka Tigers, and. Okay. I went into work and I was like, all right, man, what's my section, you know? And they were like, oh, no, you're dishwashing today. And I was like, what do you mean I'm dishwashing today? I'm a busser. And they're like, no, we hired you on as a busser.
I do know
dishwasher.
Yeah.
You know them.
Okay.
What
was it, 1979?
Shut up. And so they're like, no, you got to be the dishwasher.
Oh, you were that guy? You were like, I'm wearing the Onitsuka.
It's like, why? But I'm like... And so I walked back to the dish pit, and the drain had clogged, the floor drain, and there was one other guy there, this short little Mexican guy.
Yeah,
it was like 4'9", standing in like 6 inches of shitty saliva barbecue sauce water.
Jesus Christ!
And dude, this place was packed all the time, you know. And so I walk into the water. And I start trying to help as much as I can. Freaking dishes are just coming in, piling in, you know. I mean, we're not talking about little plates. We're talking about big, extra thick platters, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so like, we're trying to fight this wave of all these dishes. And I remember breaking a plate and cutting myself really deep. And I was like bleeding all over the place and like trying to stand in this water and like, you know, wash all the dishes. I got through the night, and then I went home. I don't even know what happened, but I was like, I'm not going back to that shit. And I was getting, at that point in 2006 or something, I was probably getting paid maybe $7.25,
dude.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe $7. If you were lucky, $7.25. Yeah.
I don't even know. I think it might have been $5.15 back then. And so I was probably getting paid like $6.50 or something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And it was, I was like, wow, what am I doing?
Even back then, you're like, what the fuck? That's horrible.
So I left that job. What else did I do? I worked I remember briefly working at Olive Garden.
Oh shit! How was that?
Well, when you're there, you're family.
Did you feel like family?
No, I don't know, not really. I remember this one guy. He was a stand-up comedian.
Oh, good for him.
He was kind of like he reminded me of like Sinbad.
Okay.
He was like exactly the same shape and build. He was like this bald black guy.
Had like the blondish kind of reddish hair.
Reddish hair? No, he was bald as hell. He was the most annoying person ever. Every time I talked to him, he was trying out his bits with me, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Yeah. Wait, but what was the kitchen like there? Because I'm fascinated with those places.
Yeah.
Because when it came out, somehow that place branded themselves as like, they're like, we send our chefs to Italy to learn. And I was always like, wait, really? Do they? I always imagined there was like microwaves back there and like, they weren't cooking in pans, were they?
No, not really. So I served there too.
I'm sure you did. I can't wait to hear the first job where you cooked because I think you killed it. I think you found your calling.
I've worked all over, and then I finally moved to Austin. And I served here too.
No, wait. You got to tell me about Olive Garden.
You want to talk about Olive Garden?
You got to tell me about Olive Garden. What was the kitchen like there?
It was.
Was it microwaves?
I think they used pot and pans, but they didn't really like. They might have like had some pots to like throw. To like heat up pasta and noodles and then plate it.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, a lot of stuff came out frozen and a lot of their sauces were in bags and things,
So they used to pour sauces over.
They would just pour it into third pans and heat it up or something. And like
what the fuck?
Steam tables, I guess. Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you at any point, you don't strike me as like a guy who was like big into drugs and stuff while you work? Were you never into that?
No.
These are all kitchens. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but like these are all seem like kitchens where people are like fucked up a lot of the time.
Maybe.
Either like high or drunk or like looking to get high.
I'm sure a lot of them were getting high before work, maybe even during work and they walk in.
But you were never that guy?
No, I never really was.
No. Yeah.
No,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I've always been
so rare. You know that. Right?
That I didn't pick up drugs.
Yeah.
I slowly did turn into an alcoholic.
It's kind of unavoidable in this world. Yeah.
Yeah. You really just should just be an alcoholic if you're going to be a cook.
How do you avoid it?
Like, don't kid around. Like, just drink. Just start drinking, dude.
Just shut up. Just drink. I've had 2 separate servers at this job right now. They're like, I've had a day where like it was kind of a rough day, and I told myself at the beginning of the day, I'm not going to drink today. I just don't want to. I just want to go home, be healthy, have some water.
Worder? Yeah.
Worder. And then I'll tell the server, like the server comes up and they're like, you want to drink? And I'm like, no, I'm good tonight. They go,
what are you fucking doing? Are you an idiot?
Yeah, they say that. They go, what's wrong with you? It's free. Oh, you don't want to drink? Stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus, okay. All right.
I'll have it. I think I've seen you go through that a little bit.
That struggle, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I had one server bring a beer to me and I was like, I didn't really want that. They go, it's free. And I go, you're right. I'll have the drink. I just give in so easily to it.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's so available.
I do that sometimes. And often when I'm like, it'll be 5 p.m. and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go home and I'm not going to drink tonight. And the minute I clock out, I walk out and the bartender offers me a beer. And I totally forget about it, you know? I completely...
At 5 o'clock?
Well, like, no, I won't. I'll clock out at, 10:30 at night.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Yeah.
And by that time, I will totally have forgotten my plans to be sober.
Yeah, because you had like a rough night or it was like a good night. It's crazy.
It doesn't even matter. Yeah, it just like I didn't really focus on the goal, and I start drinking again.
I tried to stop drinking for October last year, and I found that it was really hard to fall asleep because I was so wired. Right, as a cook, you're so wired because you're like your adrenaline popped up. So you kind of need a beer to kind of just bring it all down. Even just one. I swear, like one sip of a beer, and I was just like, oh, okay, all right, I can just calm down now. But if I didn't have one, I would stay up until like 6 a.m, just sitting there looking at the ceiling. I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, even if, so we've been working crazy hours lately. I cooked noodles for 24 hours straight.
Jesus, what?
To get oh God, what a fiasco. We just did the Formula One races. We had a booth at the Circuit of Americas.
What was that like?
It was crazy amounts of work. And they told us we might be selling 3,000 bowls of ramen. And then I was like, are you sure? Ramen in Texas heat?
Yeah.
And then they were like, you know what? They're telling us we should be prepared to sell 4,500 bowls of ramen. And so leading up to this, we were all getting ready. We got all this shit prepped. I think it was 2 days before we had to show up out there. We hadn't started cooking any noodles. We needed 4,500 servings of noodles, par cooked and portioned, before we went out there. We probably had, those big plastic storage tubs.
Yeah.
We probably had
like a bus tub, or you mean like a big old Lexan?
No, like not even. This
Lexan.
Wasn't even kitchen. Like kitchen stuff. It was just, stuff you put in your attic full of sweaters.
What?
Like those big plastic storage bins. We had maybe 15 of those filled to the brim with noodles.
That's insane.
And one day I was like, we're not going to have noodles if I don't stay here and try to cook all these fucking noodles. Even after cooking noodles for 24 hours straight, we still had 40 boxes of noodles to cook. And
I don't understand what you're telling me right now. You stayed at the restaurant for 24 hours?
Yeah. So I was...
Where? What do you mean?
I was standing there throwing... we had this giant big basket. And I was able to throw,
Wait,
I guess,
have like
30...
a converted like fryer as a boiler, or what?
We ended up using a fryer as a boiler when we got to F1. But we have what's called a noodle rinser. It's a noodle boiler.
Okay.
It's basically a fryer, same apparatus, same thing, but it's meant for water. And
what's the capacity of that? How many noodles were you doing per?
So I was able to figure out how to do about 30 orders of noodles
at a time.
But it's really difficult because when you drop 30 orders of noodles into that small amount of water, you completely starchify the hell out of the water.
So how often were you changing that water?
Maybe every 2 or 3 drops. And so I had to
fucking kidding me.
Empty it out, refill it, wait for it to come back up to a full boil.
What were you doing at the time? Did you guys close?
Yeah, we were closed.
But you stayed there for a whole day.
Yeah, I got there at 8 a.m. one morning. I cooked until like 7 a.m. 23 hours later. And then
straight.
Yeah.
Through the night.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was just cooking noodles and trying to get that done.
Just listening to music or?
Yeah, I had my little headphones.
Dude, I can't even imagine this. You were literally just standing in front of a noodle cooker for 24 hours?
Kind of. I mean, I was walking around trying to do other stuff.
Were you drinking beers? What were you doing to like make yourself get through this? I don't understand.
I didn't have beers. I should have drank beers now that I think about it. I was drinking Diet Coke or Coke Zeros just to get some caffeine in me.
If anything, that tells me you're capable of running a restaurant. Holy shit. I would never do that. I'd be like, you know what, let's call it quits. I'll come back in the morning and then it'd be fucked.
You know, towards the end, after like 20 hours, I was really, really tired. And I did start to get a little sad. Then I quickly like fell into like a little bit of a depression. And I was like, there's no way we're going to sell 4,500 orders of noodles.
Did you?
No. Not
even close, right?
So before I called it, I know. So I said, before any of that had happened, I was like, there's no way we're going to sell 4,000 bowls of noodles. My estimation, we're going to sell 1,200 bowls.
That's a good estimate.
We sold just under
1,200.
Yeah.
Dude. How many noodles did you do?
Oh, fuck. I must have done, I don't know. I did a lot.
So 30 times, how many drops do you think?
Per box, I probably did, I don't know.
We have to.
I did so many.
Got to do the math here. So like, wait.
So it's 30 noodles per box.
30 noodles per box.
And then it's maybe 60 boxes.
It's 60 boxes.
What does that turn out?
That's 1,800.
1,800?
How much did you have left?
Maybe another 50. Maybe another 60 boxes.
Another 50, 60 boxes, which is...
It's not even enough for what the projection was. It would have gotten us over 3,000 noodles. And we still had to throw away so many noodles.
That fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, we threw away all those noodles.
Your wasted work and time, and then that fucking wasted product.
Yeah, and then so after that,
sucks, man.
So we came back from that failure at F1, and then that same week our chef left.
Jesus, why didn't you guys just cook the noodles to order?
2 minutes.
It wouldn't have been that long.
Actually, we should have now in retrospect because of how many we served. But what we wanted to have was a 10-second reheat time or a 15-second reheat.
Uh-huh.
The hardest part was bringing the soup up to a boil. The noodles were easy. And so what we wanted to do was have the order come in, the bowl be made in a minute and a half at most. That's actually kind of pushing. That's a long ticket time. And then hand the noodles to the people within 2 minutes. And we were able to do that.
Yeah. But you could have kept up with it like by having like a separate noodle boiler and just being like, oh, I'm low on noodles, so you cooked a shitload of noodles. I don't know, man. That fucking sucks, man.
There's logistical problems, like you have to run and grab water from this hose that's 200 yards over there.
That's crazy.
And you have to, think about your gray water, your dumping.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It was a lot. It was a big project.
Damn, man, that really sucks. You guys just ended up wasting a bunch of that shit.
So much. We wasted so much product.
Did they pay you for all that product?
No, they didn't pay us for the product.
Damn.
Oh, you mean F1?
Yeah.
No way.
They just give you the booth.
So there's a $5,000 buy-in.
What?
Yeah. When we got there,
did you guys make it even? Barely, maybe?
I think it was a huge loss.
Yeah, that had to be, dude. How much were we charging for the soup?
We were charging, I think 150%.
Good. Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Other people had they had more experience or they just knew. I bought a gyro for $22.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you're not charging $25 for that soup, then
yeah,
you're crazy.
I mean, it's not like people like F1 fans are low on cash. These are rich people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was quite the eye-opening experience.
Dude, there's people who only do that kind of thing. Like they really know how to do that shit, right?
Oh yeah. A lot of the other booths were people that just do, and their menus are super, super quick, really easy. And yeah, they were ready.
Damn.
I don't know, selling ramen at a race.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. I mean, it's not really a thing that you kind of like.
It was odd, and we tried it. And some people were like, wow, you're selling ramen here? Okay. I don't know.
That's insane, man.
And our booth, we had like 25 employees working at a time.
What?
Yeah.
That's not good, man.
Jesus Christ.
That's not good.
The last day we were leaving, one of the servers was like, how much money do you think we made? And I said, I don't think we made any money. I think this is a big loss. And the poor girl, she's always like really upbeat and happy. She got kind of sad about it.
I mean,
I shouldn't have been a dick and said that.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you not? I mean, it's that sucks, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people can be that irresponsible as a business owner. If I go to a restaurant and somebody has like 4 servers on and it's, 11 o'clock and there's 3 customers in there, I'm like, What are you doing, man? You're killing your business, man.
Yeah.
I know you want to pay your workers, but dude, you're doing them a disservice. Oh, man.
Right. I mean, sometimes you just have to keep people working or else you'll lose them. And losing them is worse than paying them,
Is it though?
Well, it could mean the closing of your business.
Am I going to open a business? I kind of want to test my
Jeez.
my ability.
I don't know.
You think it'd be a bad idea?
You want to have a brick and mortar restaurant right now?
No, Jesus Christ. All right, I got to pee. Ask yourself that question.
What happened? Did you fall in?
It's a real long.
Well, should we wrap this thing up or what?
Yeah. I mean, you got through half your jobs.
Should we pick this up at a later date?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, man.
I'd like to have one of them cigarettes you brought.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can call it quits, man.
Let's do that.